I didn't see you there. Thanks for coming back to my channel, the Otter by Autumn channel. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just talk Marvelous Miss Maisel, okay? But in all seriousness, thank you everyone for returning to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying the latest season of Marvelous Miss Maisel. But that's not what we're gonna talk about today, or maybe just a little. So I went ahead and posted on the subreddit, because everyone delivers on the wonderful subreddit, about what are some plot points that you have noticed that kind of just went unbothered once they were introduced. Like, you know, they put it there and they just left it. Like, bye-bye. And I feel like in Marvelous Miss Maisel, they are constantly feeding us new information, and there is just no follow-ups to things that feel like there should be follow-ups. So I asked on the subreddit, and all of you gave me your little submissions of what you think should have been a follow-up and what should have been more relevant in the story of some of the plot points that they introduced and just didn't do anything with. So here's 5 of those plot points that I think had, like, you know, the most likes and was personally interesting to me. But before we get into it, please like this video and subscribe if you want more videos like this. I make videos about fashion. It's a variety channel, I'm not sure what's going on here, but right now it's Marvelous Miss Maisel time, so then if you want more Marvelous Miss Maisel, subscribe and like this video. Now back to our originally scheduled program. Mwah. So after making this post, and the very first comment that came up, and the person said, "I just want to know if Simon found a loving family after Rose dumped her to get back to New York City." Simon. Now that was a cute dachshund. Yeah, you know, I really hope that maybe she lived out the rest of her days with the apartment person. A lot of people theorize that Simon actually belonged to the apartment owner, so let's hope. Now this is a plot point that literally grinds my gears that this didn't become a bigger plot device, is Elroy Dunham. Was a character that was introduced to us, I think in like the 3rd or 4th season, I forget, and she was writing basically hit pieces on Midge because she's like, woman. What it seemed to have come out to be is that Roy is a pick-me girl in a more male-dominated space in the 1960s, similar to kind of like how Midge's position is, but Roy is definitely more like, women suck, am I right, fellas? And there's a lot of people like that in the industry if they are, like, you know, one of the only women or men in said industry. They're trying to fit in, and that's why she's picking on Midge. But when this all came about, you know, it seemed like it was gonna be like a bigger plot point, and it just wasn't. Sophie said that she's like, "Oh, I hate Elroy Dunham. I'll take care of it for you, Susie, don't worry." And then Sophie went off and took care of it, but then we never know exactly what happened, and I feel like that would be really cool if we found out what happened. And let me just, my little tinfoil hat, something that I thought would have been so freaking cool, because Sophie just seemed to know a lot about Roy for some reason, right? What if Roy was Sophie's daughter? Mind blown. I think, like, you know, they're very similar to each other. I feel like that was like my first thing, being like, Sophie knows this woman really well. That's Sophie's kid. I know it's Sophie's kid. But then we never got, that's my little headcanon, my little theory, and I think it would have been so cool if they did that, but they didn't, and they just kind of left her at that. Maybe we'll see more of Roy in the 5th season, but let's see. Midge and Joel's wedding in Vegas. Susie said that she took care of it, which how did she take care of it if it was a legally binding marriage and then they had to go through all that hoopla to get a divorce in the first place? Are they divorced? Or are they still legally married? Like, he'll go, "My wife," and I'm just like, oh man, if a man ever goes, "Don't you ever mess with my wife," to me, like, you know, like, I'm the wife? Hubba hubba. No, but anyway, a lot of people are just like, how did Susie take care of it? Like, I don't think Susie can take care of it. It's not her marriage. We'll see. Maybe they'll discuss it. But yeah, that's a plot point that we didn't really get more of. Like, watch them get the divorce again, or like mention that they got the divorce again, because I don't think they did. Alright, now this was a big conversation in the thread, was about Imogene. And let me clear the air a little bit. So, someone posts, "It does seem like Imogene's plot line was supposed to be bigger. Bailey D. Young, who plays Imogene, had a limited appearance later in the season because she had her baby and when they were filming and wasn't available." So she had a baby when they were filming. "I believe that she has retired from acting." And then someone does say that she was referenced in the IMDb references of particular future episodes, so maybe we'll see her again. But then I'm like, okay, Imogene went to secretariat school, and then she was Abe's personal writer, and then, okay, so then now we're just not Abe's personal writer. Abe doesn't have like a typist anymore, but I just thought that was strange how that was a really big plot point last season, that like, you know, Imogene was a working woman and she learned shorthand after being mad about women who learned shorthand. But anyway, I just wish that they would have mentioned that maybe like Imogene went to go be an independent woman elsewhere, but yeah, they just haven't mentioned Imogene, but maybe she'll be in the rest of the season. Now, this is a really good question, and I feel like they should discuss this at some point, because I wonder if Abe is still working for Peanuts. It was such a big deal after the first paycheck, but was never mentioned again. Is Rose the one supporting them both? This could have been emphasized if true. If Rose was supporting them both, I feel like Rose wouldn't let Abe hear the end of it, but that would have been something cool to hear about, especially with like the message that Marvelous Miss Maisel is trying to convey. But those were the 5 plot points that just kind of has me stumped because we didn't continue on them, or like we're not talking about it in the series, but maybe we'll get more of it in the rest of the 5th season. Let's hope so. But alright everyone, like this video if you did. If you didn't, subscribe to me. You'll get more of me. Alright everyone, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye! Mwah.